Imagine this. You meet someone new. They're confident, magnetic, and they make you feel like you've known them for years. But over time, you notice something strange. They twist conversations so the spotlight is always on them. They know exactly how to push people's buttons to get what they want. And when they hurt someone, they don't seem to feel guilty at all. Psychologists have a name for this combination of traits, the Dark Triad. It sounds mysterious, almost like something out of a thriller, but it's very real. And understanding it can change the way you see people around you and even protect you from toxic relationships. In this video, we'll break down the 3 traits that make up the Dark Triad: Narcissism, Machiavellianism, and Psychopathy. We'll explore what they really mean, how they show up in everyday life, and why some of the most charming people can also be the most dangerous. Stick around until the end, because I'll also share why recognizing these traits early can save you from manipulation and emotional harm. Narcissism is probably the most well-known of the 3. At its core, it's about ego and self-importance. Narcissists believe they're special, unique, and more deserving than others. They crave admiration and validation constantly. On the surface, this can actually look attractive. They're often confident, well-dressed, and smooth talkers. You might even look up to them at first. But here's the catch. Narcissists often see people not as equals, but as tools. Friends, partners, even co-workers are there to feed their ego. If you've ever been in a relationship with one, you know the pattern. At first, they shower you with attention, making you feel amazing, but later the focus shifts entirely to them, and you're left drained, unheard, and unimportant. Machiavellianism takes a different angle. Named after the political philosopher Niccolo Machiavelli, it's all about manipulation, strategy, and control. Someone high in Machiavellianism thinks several steps ahead, like a chess player. They believe the ends justify the means. Lying, deceiving, or stepping on others doesn't bother them if it helps them reach their goal. Think about a co-worker who acts friendly to your face, but secretly undermines you to the boss. Or a politician who makes promises they never intend to keep, just to gain power. That's Machiavellianism in action. These people aren't impulsive, they're deliberate. They know exactly what they're doing, and often you won't even realize you've been manipulated until much later. Psychopathy is the darkest of the 3. It's marked by lack of empathy, impulsivity, and fearlessness. Psychopaths don't experience guilt the way most people do. They can hurt others, emotionally or even physically, and feel little to no remorse. But here's a surprising twist. Not all psychopaths are violent criminals. In fact, many live relatively normal lives. Some even thrive in high-risk careers like law enforcement, the military, or business, because their fearlessness and ability to stay calm under pressure can be an advantage. The danger comes when psychopathy mixes with the other traits, charm, manipulation, and ego, creating people who are charming on the surface but cold and ruthless underneath. Each of these traits is harmful on its own, but when they overlap, they create a truly toxic personality. Imagine someone who craves admiration like a narcissist, manipulates like a Machiavellian, and feels no guilt like a psychopath. These are the kinds of people who rise quickly in toxic workplaces, who create abusive relationships, and who sometimes even end up leading entire groups or organizations. Their charm hides their darkness, at least for a while. So, why should you care? Because the Dark Triad shows up everywhere, in friendships, romantic relationships, workplaces, even family dynamics. Maybe you've had a boss who constantly took credit for your work, a partner who gaslit you into doubting your own reality, or a friend who always seemed to use you when it suited them. Understanding these traits helps you recognize red flags early. It empowers you to set boundaries, protect your energy, and avoid getting pulled into toxic cycles. The Dark Triad isn't about labeling people as evil. Personality traits exist on a spectrum, and most people might show a little narcissism or manipulation now and then. But when these traits are extreme, consistent, and combined, that's when they become dangerous. The good news? Knowledge is power. By learning about the Dark Triad, you're already better prepared to spot it and protect yourself from it. In the next video, I'll share how to recognize Dark Triad behaviors early and what you can do if you find yourself dealing with someone who shows these traits. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments, have you ever met someone who seemed charming at first but turned out to have a darker side? And subscribe for more psychology-based videos.